I would like to share with you today a meditation for dissolving fear that I've been practicing for about 3 weeks now. First, I want to discuss fear and why it exists. In my book, Unplugged from the Matrix, I've defined fear as being the support of a false concept upon which the whole matrix is balanced like an upside-down pyramid upon a grain of sand. The grain of sand is the concept of separation. Only a being in low consciousness can have an idea of separation. Separation exists only in time and space. In other words, separation cannot exist when you are in oneness. Oneness is the experience of no time. It is a bliss-like state, but it is a state of no movement. The idea of 3D, the idea of material objects that are separate from one another and not joined by consciousness, is a concept that needs time for those things to exist in. And those are beautiful concepts when you think of it. It allows us to come up with other ideas, to try to return to the oneness, even when we're in separation and the illusion of the matrix. Fear is the thing that supports the separatist idea. And fear comes from that idea of being abandoned. And it is a very, very deep, deep feeling. I believe we all have it because in the process of becoming material, in a sense, one becomes abandoned by one's higher self. Now, abandonment in that sense means a lack of communication. And so the further you go into the illusion of separation, the less communication that you have with your higher self. The higher self cannot live in fear because its vibrational awareness is too high. And there's a mismatch. So fear will not allow you to communicate with your higher self. Most people live unconsciously in a state of anxiety. And this anxiety is what's called high beta wave. So the beta wave brain wave is a wave that actually shuts off the higher functionings of our brain, the creative side of our brain, the side of us that is constantly in bliss state, which is the right side of the brain. I outline this in my first book, Parallel Mind, The Art of Creativity, and I talk about how the right brain and the left brain actually live in two different worlds. The right brain is what all the mystics are trying to get to. They're trying to get to that awareness, the bliss state, the sense of oneness. But you can't get there while you're trying to do it mentally through, exercises and things like that. You can get to it through a feeling space. Remember that fear is the underlying support of the matrix. The matrix is an artificial system of reality. So fear is the support of the false description of reality as survival-based. That, of course, brings up all kinds of fear. Now, if you take the false description and you turn it into the real description, which is there's nothing but consciousness, you can describe that as love, to describe the feeling space of that oneness, then the matrix just has to dissolve. When everyone makes an agreement, which they have at an unconscious level, that this is reality, that we need armies to protect us, and there is such a thing as waging war to gain peace. These very, very false things have been promoted to humanity in order to exploit humanity for their fear, as I explain in Unplugged from the Matrix. To dissolve that, you don't go and fight it. You don't try to mentally get rid of it. But you can use a visualization. And one of the ones that I created was this idea of an ice pack. You think of an ice pack as the frozen energy of the matrix. The matrix is not moving. It's very, very hard. It's very inflexible. It's very frozen. It's the frozen creative energy of mankind. We are the ones that support the matrix. And when we take away our agreement with it, our agreement to live in fear, we dissolve the matrix. So imagine that ice floe, which has been stuck forever. It's got little bits of stone in it. It's like a glacier. And what you're doing is slowly flowing warmth into that. And as you do that, it's kind of like the ice breaking up in spring. There's like ice on top of the water, and underneath it, the water is still flowing. And as the water becomes warmer, it rots the ice from underneath, and it slowly breaks up, floats down the river, and dissolves. This is an extremely simple image. This is something you could do at any time. My favorite time is to use it when I wake up in the morning, before I even get out of bed. I start to imagine all the stuck things in my personal life just breaking up and flowing. You can use this in regards to something that you actually mentally put your mind on, but it's very effective to simply intend to use it on everything that's stuck, whether it's in your life or the global awareness or whatever. This would be very powerful for everyone to do as often as possible during the day. Hold this image in your mind, just the ice. I love the word ice flow, because you think of it, even though it's not spelled F-L-O-W, F-L-O-E instead. It's still the idea of ice flowing, ice going back to water. Water is the higher vibrational awareness of ice. And we're going to take something that's very, very dense, ice, and we're turning it back into its higher vibrational awareness, which is water. And to do that, we melt it with love. I hope that you can participate in this. It would be a very powerful thing for you to share with other people. Do as many times as you can during the day. It's a great little meditation. You don't have to put a lot of time into it. You don't have to put any real mental focus into it. All you have to do is imagine the image, intend, without really attaching it to anything, and letting it flow. Imagine if we all did this. The matrix would melt away in a heartbeat. Namaste.